Be prepared. A quiet shift is already in motion, and this moon is watching who's ready and who isn't. Most people will look at June 8th and see just another day, just a quiet, uneventful square on the calendar. But quietly, without drama or announcement, the moon is slipping into a zone it hasn't touched like this in months. It's a silent shift that doesn't get headlines. And that's exactly why it's so important. This moon is setting the tone for something that's already beginning to ripple through you, whether you've noticed it or not. And if you've been feeling the urge to pull back, to spend more time alone, or to distance yourself from certain people, that's not optional. During this moon, you need to stay away from people, and you'll understand exactly why soon. And if you want, drop 777 along with your thoughts in order to align into this timing window before June 8th. Even though most people will wake up tomorrow like any other day, there's one specific rule you need to follow the moment you open your eyes on June 8th. I will explain exactly what it is and why it's so important. So stick around, because the truth is, this moon isn't just passing by. It's scanning, and it's looking for who's paying attention. More on that in a second, but first, there's something else happening with this moon that people aren't ready for. This month, the moon isn't acting how people expect. It's moving through areas of the sky that ancient astrologers warned about, places where things appear calm on the surface but are secretly shaking underneath. It's what some call a spiritual bait and switch. You might feel like you're supposed to socialize, say yes to every invite, keep yourself surrounded by people, but that's not what this moon wants. Not now. Not this June. June's moon doesn't demand noise. It requires distance. It requires solitude, not as punishment, but as protection. Because something is reshaping the way energy flows through your body, and too many outside voices can twist that signal. This isolation isn't loneliness. It's clarity. It's alignment. And while others may rush around this weekend wrapped in distractions, you'll know you're meant to pull back. You're meant to step aside, because the ones who move with the moon this week are the ones who will be ready when the real shift lands, and that's coming in just a few days. There's a reason this moon is acting like a decoy, and it's hiding something big, something about June 11th and the strawberry full moon that's about to hit. And when I tell you what that moon is bringing in, you're going to understand why this silence was so necessary. Keep watching. This isn't just a full moon. It's a signal. Right now, we are standing in a narrow energetic window, a kind of prelude to something much more intense. On June 11th, the strawberry full moon rises, and what's building right now is not just a gentle lunar tide. It's a surge, and it's already affecting those who are tuned in. This moon is not sweet. It's strategic. The term strawberry moon might sound soft, but this one doesn't come in peace. It comes with purpose. It brings a magnifying effect. Things that have been hiding in your blind spots, both good and bad, begin to grow louder, clearer, and more immediate. Energy doesn't wait until the full moon to start moving. It starts whispering days before, only this time, it's shouting. We're now in the build-up phase, and that means sensitivity is peaking. You might notice your emotions stretch a little thinner. Your thoughts might be sharper but harder to control. Time might feel like it's either crawling or skipping entire hours. This is why staying away from crowds is essential during this preparation phase. When the energy is this volatile, being around too many different frequencies, too many moods, too many energies, is like standing in the middle of a lightning field with a metal rod in your hand. You're too open, too influenced, too vulnerable to distortions that aren't yours. Not everyone you stand next to is safe for your nervous system. This moon will ask you to remember, silence isn't emptiness. It's calibration. It's insulation from noise that doesn't belong to you. Because once this moon peaks, it won't be asking who was busy. It'll be asking who was ready. We are not waiting for the 11th. We are inside the wave now, and the closer we get, the more precise your energy must become. But what's coming right after June 8th, that's where things truly crystallize. What you witness becomes what you create. The 48 hours following June 8th are part of a delicate, energetic phenomenon. Some old mystics once called the glass hour. This is not folklore. This is the kind of moment that's quiet on the outside but potent underneath. Think of it like a mirror that finally turns toward you, not just reflecting your image, but amplifying what you choose to see. During this short span of time, your perceptions take on unusual weight. The things you look at, the colors that surround you, even the music you let into your ears, they start becoming templates, energetic blueprints. And those blueprints will start to manifest into your actual waking reality over the next several weeks. You are always creating, but during glass hour, creation listens closer. This is the real reason you're being pulled away from the crowd. It's not about hiding. It's about protecting the raw material you're about to build your next chapter with. Because even one conversation, one visual, one energetic thread can slip in and rewrite your trajectory. So, be careful where your eyes land. Be intentional with your attention. If something catches you, stop and ask, is this mine? Or is this something I don't want echoing through my field for the rest of this month? Choose what you let into your field very, very carefully, because once the glass hour ends, it doesn't rewind. The moon speaks in symbols, but tonight it might be screaming. As you drift into sleep tonight, between June 7th and the early hours of June 8th, you may notice something unusual. Dreams that don't follow the logic of time or place. Spaces that stretch like elastic. Hallways that go on forever. People who don't speak, but whose presence lingers like a message just out of reach. This isn't just your subconscious processing the week. It's something far more intentional. Because tonight, the moon reaches what's called its apogee, its farthest point from Earth. And when that happens, it doesn't pull less on us. It actually creates a strange stillness, a sort of pause in the narrative, like something is meant to be revealed, but just not yet. These dreams aren't symbols, they are placeholders, memory holding space for what hasn't happened yet. You might notice your dream landscapes feel deserted, unfinished. You might walk through a familiar building that feels wrong in tiny, specific ways. Doors in the wrong place. Furniture shifted. Rooms that used to be full now hollow. It's as if reality in your dream is waiting for an update. These types of dreams, the floating ones, the ones where you feel like you're watching from outside your own body or echoing through an empty city, don't come often, and when they do, it's usually in transitional windows where the energetic realm is paused for calibration. You're not being warned, you're being held in a kind of spiritual, holding pattern like a plane circling above the runway, waiting for clearance to land. And tonight, the moon is the air traffic control. Quiet, deliberate, restrained. Even if you don't dream vividly, pay attention to how you feel when you wake up. That lingering feeling, that thread of something unfinished, that's the residue of this apogee influence. You're not missing the message. The message is still being written, and just because the world looks normal outside tomorrow morning, don't assume the veil hasn't shifted. Because by the time you open your eyes, you may already be in the next phase. You didn't stumble across this. You were pulled into it. There's a reason this message reached you now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, now. Because for days, maybe even weeks, you've been sensing that something feels off. Something not quite physical, not quite mental, but present. A strange kind of electricity in the silence. Delays you couldn't explain. Restlessness without cause. Emotions that rise and fall like waves, without wind. This isn't coincidence. It's alignment. You've likely been more withdrawn than usual, either by choice or by circumstance. People cancelling plans, sudden moments of solitude, a strange pull inward. And if you've been feeling that isolation, wondering why you're not fitting into your usual rhythm, you're not wrong. The moon is creating space around you, not to push people away, but to pull you back to your signal. This energy doesn't want you distracted. Not now. Not during this pocket of time when things are so incredibly subtle they could be missed in the noise of the world. You were supposed to find this message before the 8th. You were supposed to remember that not all changes arrive with thunder. Some arrive in whispers, in odd dreams. You might be one of the few people tuned into this frequency, and it's not because you're lucky or special in a flashy way. It's because you're open. Open enough to feel the changes before they hit. And yes, this moment, this exact one, is part of that call. You were guided here for a reason. The moon is preparing you. What comes next will not be chaotic, but it will be precise. And now that you've arrived at this point, you'll start to see the signs clearer than ever before. When the moon pulls back, your energy doesn't vanish, it snaps. Most people don't realize this. When the moon retreats, we don't go still. We overcompensate. Like when someone suddenly lets go of a heavy weight you were helping carry. Your whole body jolts forward. That's exactly what's happening right now. The moon, as distant and quiet as it seems, has been subtly regulating us. Our moods, our tides, even our internal timing. But right now, it's stepping back, not disappearing, just pulling into the background, watching from a distance. And that's where the surge begins. You may feel a sudden rise in energy that has no explanation. Bursts of motivation that come out of nowhere, followed by sharp moments of agitation or even misplaced confidence. It's not madness. It's a misfire of calibration. Your system is reaching out for a pulse that momentarily feels gone. And in that search, it overreacts. Spiritual stillness triggers the loudest echoes. For some, this might show up as restlessness. You'll want to clean, move, build, message someone. For others, it could feel like urgency with no subject. You'll find yourself pacing in your mind, not knowing what you're rushing to. And for a rare few, a boldness that doesn't quite feel earned. Like something inside, you decided it's time to act, even though nothing around you has changed. This is the lunar rubber band snapping back. The moon's soft withdrawal sends your inner systems into an unexpected push forward. It's not bad, it's not dangerous, but it is raw. And raw energy needs direction, or it burns out fast. So if you're feeling like your mood has too much voltage right now, understand it's not a flaw in you. It's the lunar thread that usually holds tension, momentarily slack. Use this jolt wisely. It's borrowed fire, not permanent flame, because this spike won't last. And if it's spent without aim, it can leave you more drained than before. So channel it, move it, direct it into something simple, not big decisions, not grand gestures, just small focus points. Because this isn't the moon abandoning you. It's the moon giving you space to see what rises when it steps back. When the moon blinks, time gets weird. June 8th isn't just a date. It's an intermission, a quiet crease in the script of the sky that almost no one talks about. Not a new moon, not a full moon, not even a classic quarter. It's something else. What ancient lunar watchers once called the phase between phases. A moment where the moon, energetically speaking, doesn't quite know who she is. It's subtle, barely trackable, but it's real. Imagine a wave that pauses mid-crest. Imagine a breath held just 1 second too long. That's June 8th. And in that thin sliver of undefined time, the rules soften. Manifestations don't land where they're aimed. Intentions float rather than embed. It's as if the world is waiting to decide what comes next, but is open to suggestion. In the phase between phases, reality becomes more impressionable, but less predictable. This is why the words you speak on June 8th matter more than usual. Not because you're casting spells or activating destiny, but because the energetic sponge is unusually porous. It's listening more carefully, and it remembers more vividly. If you joke about failure, that joke sticks. If you affirm strength, that strength echoes longer. If you give voice to doubt, that doubt weaves a thread. So, choose your speech like it's a brushstroke. Because during this energetic slipstream, even the small things you say can echo into corners you'll visit later. And it's not just about speaking. What you focus on, even unconsciously, during this tiny lunar blink, is likely to shape the flavor of your next emotional wave. So, yes, things may feel off, but they're not broken. They're soft, flexible, fluid. You're walking through a hallway where the walls haven't dried yet. On June 8th, you don't just influence what comes next, you sculpt it. So, don't worry about controlling the moment, just respect it. Speak with intention, think with clarity, and don't throw casual words into the air as if they disappear. Because today they don't. She stepped back, not to leave you, but to see you. Tonight, the moon is farthest from us. A lunar apogee. Her energy is quiet, restrained, distanced. And maybe you felt it. That slight hollow in your routine. That barely noticeable disconnection. A strange float between thoughts like nothing is quite landing fully. But this isn't abandonment. It's perspective. The moon has not turned her face away. She's just stepped back far enough to see you completely. And that space, that distance, it was needed. Think of it like a close friend who knows they love you, but can't quite articulate why until they stand at the edge of your world and observe from the outside. From that distance, things become clear. Priorities sharpen. The emotional fog lifts. She left so she could see the full picture. And now, she's returning with a gift. That's what this is. The gift of recalibration. In just a few days, as the strawberry moon begins to rise and the distance closes again, the moon won't just be returning to orbit. She'll be returning to you, but not blindly, not by default. She's returning after taking a breath, and she's bringing clarity. This is why so much has felt paused lately, because she needed time to gather the energies, the pieces, the invisible threads you've scattered without noticing. She's seen what matters from afar, and now, as she comes back into view, she's not just lighting the path, she's carrying what's meant for you. Absence is not silence. Sometimes it's preparation, the tension you felt, the stillness you couldn't quite name. That was the moon studying your blueprint. Now that she's seen it fully, she's adjusting what comes next. And this next phase won't be passive. You'll notice synchronicities speeding up again, conversations lining up, emotional clarity returning. It's because the moon is close enough now to resume her influence, but wiser than she was before. So, when you feel the shift in the next few days, when your mind suddenly clicks into something you couldn't grasp last week, don't second-guess it. That's not luck. That's the moon bringing something she picked up while watching you from the sky. June 8th is not loud. It doesn't come with a cosmic announcement or flashing signs, but don't let that fool you. This is one of those days. A day that appears ordinary, but contains silent forks in the road. You won't see them, but you'll live through them. Because tomorrow, you'll make small, forgettable choices. And those are exactly the ones that decide everything. A message you almost send but don't. An invitation you nearly decline, then accept. A scroll you pause. On a call you delay. A sentence you delete. The moon's quiet influence rewards alignment and punishes confusion. And what does that mean? It means if you act from clarity, even if it's subtle, the moon opens doors. If you act from fog, hesitation, or ego, the doors vanish before you reach them. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. June 8th isn't a test. It's an opportunity in disguise. You won't feel its weight until later when you realize that something small spiraled into something massive. A job, a move, a connection, a realization. And when you trace it back, you'll find it happened on a day that seemed boring, simple, routine. That's why so many people miss it. Because this invisible choice point doesn't care about drama. It cares about alignment, about whether the small actions you take match the quiet truths inside you. Fate whispers first. Destiny follows after. So tomorrow, move slowly. Listen between the lines. And when you make decisions, even the tiniest ones, do it with the knowing that they're being received. Your first 33 seconds after waking up tomorrow are the most important. Not your first cup of coffee, not your to-do list, not even your first thought. It's the first vibration you emit. Because the moon in this exact energetic position is listening more closely than usual to how you begin. Not how you finish, not what you plan later, but how you wake, how you rise, what signal you send when your consciousness returns to this plane. And tomorrow, June 8th, she's especially sensitive. There's something sacred about the moment between sleep and awareness, a tiny sliver of time that's untouched by distraction, ego, or expectation. It's in those exact 33 seconds that your mind is closest to the blueprint of your next chapter. And the moon, she uses it as a calibration point. Think of it like this. The moon can't read your mind, but she can feel your first frequency. So, if the first thing you do is panic, stress, scroll, or react, you set the day's frequency at that level. The moon takes that vibration and amplifies it back into your path. But if you take 33 seconds to anchor something intentional, everything shifts. So here's the rule. When you wake up tomorrow, before you touch your phone, before your feet even hit the ground, pause. Close your eyes. Inhale once slowly. Then ask yourself silently or aloud, what do I choose to echo today? It doesn't have to be poetic. You don't need a mantra carved from ancient wisdom. Just something true, something yours, simple, honest, and felt. And then you can move. Let that first ripple spread. Because tomorrow, the moon isn't just orbiting. She's responding. She's mirroring back the very first tone you play, like a crystal bowl that hums to your breath, like a lake that freezes in the shape of your first movement. Because tomorrow isn't random. It's a calibration point, a secret check-in between you and the sky. The moon wants to know, are you letting the world choose your state, or are you choosing it for yourself? Those 33 seconds are where the answer lives. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.